I have something very important to tell you. I was out for a walk the other day. I've been trying to be a little more active these days, so I've been going on these daily walks. And I was attacked by a red-winged blackbird.
Yes! Welcome to the club.
It was exactly as it happened to you. I said I heard this thump on the back of my head, and this bird was flying around harassing me.
Where were you?
Half a block from my house.
You're the enemy now.
Now, you said that they do that because they think we're bears.
That's what I heard.
How does anyone know what the bird thinks? It could think we're any sort of animal.
They clearly ask them. They hold up a picture of a wolf and they're like, bear, and like, oh, yeah. Oh no.
It makes more sense to me that they think that we're humans who they see cutting down trees. The other day, it sort of just circled around my head. Maybe it recognized me. And it was like, you know what happened last time. How about we unbox some boxes?
Let's do it.
That's what we do here on the Unboxing Show. We're going to do it in a little bit, but right now I want to tell you that this show is dedicated to thanking our donors, people who go to welcometothebasementshow.com. Ray, who says, Dear Matt, Craig, and Tona, I was a massive Chad Vader fan, then I found your new show in 2012 with your episode of Lost Highway, and I liked it instantly. 8 years later, and now 20 years old, I still love watching your in-depth discussions on film. So here's a few dollars from the money I'm saving up for the production of my first movie. All right.
Well, best of luck on that.
Stephen, Thomas, B.A., Mikey D., Chris, Michael, Laura Kai, Brett, Joan, J.P., Sean, Kendall, Mark, Jenny, Robert, Jawaka Records and Things, John, Gray, Tabitha, Amy, Christopher, Jonathan, Andrew, Corey, Danielle, Scott, and Samuel. The rest of our donors later in the show. I will now read the postcards that I forgot to read last week and some new ones. This is from Sean Henry. Big lumbering question for you. Favorite period... I thought he had a question about lumber. I don't know. Sorry. Okay. Thank you. I'll continue. Favorite period movie? Or do you have a favorite historical period as movie setting?
Good Regency period, I suppose.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood definitely is a current favorite, and I also like The Duelists quite a bit.
Yeah.
Both very authentic. Authenticity is the key for period movies, which you know that. I don't have to tell you that. American Impressionism, John Leslie Breck. This is from Al. Hey, yo, you guys sure do have good taste in old movies. Hope your plague times are going okay. Big Tough Al.
Big Tough Al.
He's big and tough, and he appreciates art. That's a good combination. This is from Matt in Iowa. Hi, basement friends. Reading Dune Messiah, the second book in the series. Excited for the new film adaptation? Yeah, I suppose. Sure.
I'm not against it.
I like space epics. I actually liked David Lynch's Dune. I like how weird it is and how specific it is. But it would be nice to see a Dune that makes sense. Piazza di Spagna, over there in Italy.
Spanish place. Ow! Oh.
Catherine says, my boyfriend Marshall introduced me to your show when we started dating this 2 years ago, and we still love watching together. His birthday is coming up in June, and I'm sure he would love a birthday greeting from you. Hope you're all safe and well. The boyfriend's Marshall. Marshall, happy birthday, bud.
To Marshall.
Order your favorite delivery food and eat it for your birthday. That's what I say. Or take it out and have a picnic with Catherine, your lover. I'm in a weird mood all of a sudden. This is from Antonio in Madison, Wisconsin. This is a World's Fair postcard, a rather large one. I'd like you to tell Tona that I love her camera work and art. Oh, that's a very nice thing to say. As for Matt and Craig, I'd like to say I still think your show is a breath of fresh air. You two take a good cultural, critical look at all movies, like Car Wash. What is your notable guilty pleasure movie? Mine is No Retreat, No Surrender. Much love, Tony. I know you don't like the phrase guilty pleasure.
The phrase that should be used is, what movie would you be surprised that I like?
I can't think of one.
I really like Les Miserables, the musical version that came out.
Okay, big one coming at you. And he's also enclosed a sticker.
Oh, the Teen Titans.
The Teen Titans sticker. Let's open some packages. Oh, it's from Carrie Mathias. And because we're living in strange times, enjoy. Strange Trails by Lord Huron. What is this? I've heard the name Lord Huron. This looks like it's from Ages Past, 14 songs from The Unknown. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to listening to this. The Unknown, Craig.
This is from Nate. My sweet basement boys, you are both familiar with my previous offering, Last Starfighter. My hope is that one of you are not familiar with one of the two laughable movies on this disc, Red Planet or Lost in Space. It's actually 4 films on this one, the other 2 being Contact and Sphere.
I saw 2 of those movies, both in the theater.
Contact and Lost in Space?
Correct. Oh, man, I hated Lost in Space.
Everyone hated it.
Yeah, good. We will now answer some viewer questions. Colin Wheeler writes, what do you think is the biggest contributor to the toxic nature of major fan bases such as Star Wars or these large big-budget franchises as a whole? I've touched on this before a little bit. I think the main thing is that people seem to think that their opinions are facts. You're not allowed to state an opinion that differs from someone else without starting a big argument. Also, we just live in a culture of trolling. It's just so widespread and rampant. It's easier to insult someone than to have an intelligent debate with them, and that's unfortunate. And that comes, from the top down as far as I'm concerned.
There are people out there who, sight unseen, did not like Mad Max Fury Road because it had a strong female lead.
Yeah.
That's someone going in to sink the boat before it even gets off the dock. Yeah, and missing out on one of the greatest movies of the last 10 years.
Also, particularly when it comes to Star Wars, people just attach way too much importance to it, and it becomes an emotional attachment to a series of movies. I mean, Star Wars was huge in my life, but it's just a movie.
John Chambers writes, what's the best movie you never want to see again? I don't know if I'd ever want to see Harvey Keitel's movie Fingers ever again. There's no joy in that movie at all.
I never want to see Midsummer again. Just because the first time was so intense, it's not going to live up to that. I think it's just going to be vivid in my mind for the rest of my life. Mr. Devon1125. Haven't they seen a sequel on this show and then watched the first film in the series years later? Or does Beethoven's Christmas Adventure not count? This is in regards to a statement I've made before where the only sequel we watched on the show, I said, was Back to the Future 2. I don't think Beethoven's Christmas Adventure is a sequel to Beethoven because Beethoven is a trilogy of films. Beethoven's Christmas Adventure doesn't have anything to do with that trilogy. So I think Christmas Adventure is a reboot. And this movie is not in the Beethoven universe. There's magic here, the dog talks, there's candy canes that are exchanged between mouths.
It would be like if Regarding Henry, starring Harrison Ford, was called Regarding Han Solo, and had nothing to do with Han Solo, other than the fact that the character was named Han Solo and played by Harrison Ford.
There are a lot of records that come through our P.O. box, and I make an effort to listen to them. I'm going to talk about one right now. It is Dub Housing by Per Ubu. Are you bored with music? Do you want something unlike anything you've ever experienced before? Pick up any Per Ubu record, and you'll get it. It's very strange stuff. David Thomas is a lyricist like none other. It's hard to see kind of a point of view of this band, like what are they trying to accomplish? But it's interesting stuff, and it also is still music. It's recognizable as music. It's not like The Residents, where it's just so weird that many people can't really connect with it. You get a lot of stuff on here. You'll go to one track that's just sort of this collage of sounds and noises, and then suddenly they're singing What Will We Do with the Drunken Sailor? Dub Housing, Per Ubu. I believe T.A. Epley sent this in, so thank you for the experience, T.A. I only have one other Per Ubu record. This is The Modern Dance. I think it's their most famous one. I just wanted to show off the cover. I found this in a thrift store. It was quite a find. Craig, why don't you tell us about the rest of our donors?
Paul, Jorge, Stephen, Maurizio, Vincent, Sarah, Vance, Daniel, Bridget, Eden, Jared, Austin, Jeremy, Reiner, Luke, Neil, Grace, and Trevor. Trevor, who said, been watching since right around the beginning. Thanks for all these years of watching movies together. Hope to donate more often.
Got another package here from Chris and Tom in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Dear Matt, Craig, and Tona, I hope everyone is doing well in this extended isolation. We really appreciate your work done to put on this show. I know you've received Of Montreal vinyl in the past. Here is a record back from when Kevin was still kind of a lo-fi 4-track cassette recording artist, but nevertheless the songs are still beautiful and masterful. Of Montreal was the last big show Chris and I attended before the big shutdown. Our friend's band Chariot Fade got to open. Oh, that's cool. Happy listening. Yeah, I like Of Montreal. I might have even heard this record before. I haven't. The bedside drama, a petite tragedy. What's the guy's name? Kevin Shields is My Bloody Valentine. Kevin.
That's right.
It's Kevin something. I forget. But that guy's just a real oddball, and all of his music is so unique and interesting to listen to. I really like this band. Thank you. Craig is now going to tell us about an episode from our massive back catalog to rewatch or watch in case you missed it.
I'm going to go way back to something. It's almost like you've been down this road before. It's My Own Private Idaho, starring River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves. If you ever want to know what we mean when we say sitting on a bullet,
Thinking of power?
you have to watch this movie, or at least our episode, to find out.
There is a button at the end of this video you can click on to watch My Own Private Idaho, and right now you can watch this.
Before we got started, I looked down at my notepad, and it said, offering husband money for sex, and I thought, I don't remember taking that note for this movie. It's the indecent proposal page.